Welcome to the class of Vedic Maths. In this class, we will extend our discussion of multiplication by Nikhilam method with some more examples. In these examples, as we see that we are here actually taking the multiplication of two such numbers which are obviously closer to a base, but one number is less than the base and the other one is more than the base in all the four examples. So let's take it one by one. So in the first example, 94 into 108, the first thing that we have to do is to check the base. The base here is 100. So the next thing is that the difference between the base and the numbers. So how much 94 is less than its base, that is 100? 6. And then how much 108 is less than its base, that is minus 8. So if you know that, we can write down the answers. The answer will have two parts. In the first part, we will write the difference of 94 and minus 8 or 108 and 6. In either cases, it is 102. That is the first part. The second part that has to be written in continuation of the first part, that will be a multiplication of these two. So 6 8 ja 48 with negative sign, that is minus 48. That is the second part. Okay, so second part cannot be negative. So if we as we see in the fourth points to remember, if number of digits are, if part 2 has negative value, then make it positive by borrowing a suitable number from part 1. So as we see that the second part has negative value, what we can do is to borrow a suitable number from part 1. So if you borrow one number from part 1, so the value when it goes to part 2 will become 100, because the part 1 has 100 times value to the part 2. So if you're borrowing one number from part 1, it will become 101, and when it goes to part 2, it will become 100. So 100 added to minus 48, that will be 52. So the part 2, which was initially minus 48, becomes 52, and that becomes the answer, the final answer. And we see that the part 2 contains two digits which it has to contain. So that is the final answer. Okay, let's take the question number 2. For this calculation also, the base is 100. Now 92 is how much less than 100? It is 8 less than 100. 112 is how much less than 100? It is minus 12 less than 100. Now while writing down the answer, the first part will be the difference of 92 and minus 12, or 112 and 8, which is 104. That is the first part. Second part is the multiplication of 8 and minus 12, that is minus 96. But when the second part is negative, we have to borrow a suitable number from part 1. If you're borrowing 1, it will become 100 here, because the value of part 1 is 100 times the part 2. So the 100, when 100 is added to the second part, it will become 4 or 04. So the answer in this case will be 103, because 1 has been taken from 104 and 04. Why 04? Because second part must contain two digits in such kind of calculation. We have discussed these things in previous classes. Okay, let's proceed toward the next question. 994 into 1008. So what is the base for this calculation is 1000, because both these numbers are closer to 1000. Now 994 is how much less than 1000? It is 6 less than 1000. 1008 is how much less than 1000? It is minus 8 less than 1000. Now we can write down the answer. First part will be the difference of this or this. It will be 1002. That is the first part. Second part will be the multiplication, that is minus 48. That is the second part. But when second part is negative, we have to make it positive by borrowing a suitable number from part 1. If we borrow 1, since the base here is 1000, so if we borrow 1 from first part, it will become 1000 in the second part. In the previous two example, when we have been borrowing 1 from the first part, it becomes 100 because the base is 100. Since here the base is 1000, when we borrow 1 from the part 1, it will become 1000. So when 1000 is added to the second part, that means 1000 minus 48, that will become 952. So the final answer will be 1001, because 1 has been borrowed from 1002 and 952. Now we see that 952, it already contains 3 digits as the part 2 number of digits of part 2 must contain, so that is the answer. For the last question, 9994 into 10008, the base here is how much? How much is the base here? The base, as we see here, is 10,000. Base is 10,000. So the first number is how much it is less than 10,000? It is 6. Second number is minus 8 less than 10,000. While writing down the answer, first you will write the difference of this and this, or this and this. That is 10002. That is the first part, and the second part will be the multiplication of these two, that is minus 48. Again, since it is the second part has negative value, we have to borrow a suitable number. We'll borrow 1, it will become 10,000 here, because the base here is 10,000. So 10,000 minus 48 will become 9,952. So the answer will be 100019952. The second part itself already containing 4 digit and it must contain. So I have seen that these examples are solved in this manner. We will see more different type of example in the next class.